Dunkirk. So Dunkirk is directed by Christopher Nolan, and to be honest, that I never have expected that. I am gonna lay this straightforward, that Christopher Nolan directed this film so beautifully. There's so many good things to talk about the film, as you may have seen in other reviews. It's already very positive, and when I go and watch it, to be honest, I literally did not expect from this film, because number one, I don't even know what is the story supposed to be. So that is why I go to these movies and watch to learn some of the stuff. I know that this is based on a true story during the World War II so that's why I really want to learn from the movies instead. And then I learned really a lot historically, you can say that. And then this film is really as entertaining as, to the point, is very speechless. So I'm going to tell you what is this film all about. So this film, Dunkirk, is all about the 400,000 British soldiers that are pushed towards the shore of Dunkirk. Dunkirk is a place, France, and then the Brits are trying to evacuate from this place, and then at the same time the Germans are destroying all their evacuation, and then they face a lot of struggles within that. The whole story is very one small portion during the war film. It's not like any other war film where they have to tell you the beginning, the war film, and then the end, who is the hero and such. This film really takes a very small portion of this particular Dunkirk war, and then they make a lot of action as well, and then they make it very dramatic as well. So they took a very small portion and then they make it very lengthy and very entertaining in a very good way. So even though it's just a small portion, and then I kind of learned a lot about it, but what Christopher Nolan did very well with this film is that Christopher Nolan did with this one is very consistent, because this film is really a continuous of climax from the beginning of the film until the end of the film. Everything is all about the climax. It's never like an introduction, then drop down, slow down, then the climax, and then the end. You don't see the curve there. Everything is very straightforward, and it's very entertaining in that sense. So everything was done perfectly well. What Christopher Nolan always have done so well is he always messed up with a lot of timeline, like Prestige, when he talks about the timeline, and Christopher Nolan did very well in this sense. He always plays around with timeline. Even for Interstellar, he also played around with the timeline. So in this film, he also mixed up with the timeline, but he didn't mess, and to the point he mixed around that it's not messy. You understand there's some of the situation that is going on, and then once you put all the puzzle together, then it makes a whole picture. So that's the timeline is, even though he mixed it up, but it's not messed up. And this film, I have to give a very high credit that this film has a minimal dialogue, and then it's not boring. Usually when you need dialogue to have a good conversation, to understand the deeper of the characters, but this one did not even need that, because you can totally see through their acting and then the environment that they are in. So this film doesn't really need dialogues at all, and then to be honest, the surrounding and then the situation they are in is what makes this film not boring and is very entertaining in that sense. To be honest, this is the one thing that I have to give credit for this film. Every moment felt very well. Maybe it's the effect of IMAX when I watched this film. The sound editing and sound effect in this film was so real. Every time I hear a gunshot, I felt like I got shot, and then I feel like dodging into one spot. That is how good the sound system is, and because how good the sound system is, made it felt real. Because again, I was watching in IMAX, I felt immersed in the situation that they are in. You feel empathy they are in, and then they made the film so very realistic during the war scenario. I have to give very high credit for that. And then I have to give this part as well, because it took a very small part of the story. Technically, it's about, this story takes place around one day, even though it's 1 hour and 45 minutes, but they focus on one story. There's no side stories, not to say there's no side stories, but everything is connected. So they focus on one small story, and then they made it very entertaining as well. I want to talk about the acting. The acting was not really a very spectacular, I would say. Everyone did their part very well. I have to say that one particular actor that I did not expect that he can act, it was Harry Styles. Yeah, the guy from One Direction. I have never heard any of his song. I just know that he dated Taylor Swift, but his performance in this film, in my personal opinion, he surprises me that he can act, which I did not expect at all. His performance in this film really made me want to see him more in films rather than him singing, to be honest, in that sense. In this film, it felt, even though this film is 1 hour and 45 minutes, but how the film made you so immersed with the film that it doesn't feel like 1 hour and 45 minutes. It felt like 2.5 hours, because you are so immersed. You are focusing on the film. Don't even remember what's the time, to be honest. It felt very immersed. And this is one of the film that you will never expect Nolan to direct so beautifully, to the point that it can be his best film, to be honest. It's something that I have never seen before. I have to give a very high praise to Christopher Nolan. He did very well in this film. To be honest, I mean no negative things about it, because every part of this film done pretty well. But I do have a bit of nitpicking to talk about with this film, but I'm not going to say that because I don't think it really matters, because the nitpicking part is more on a personal. Didn't like it, but I understand that the direction of the film is going. The film did very well for what it is supposed to be, and this film is very entertaining. It's very immersive, and so many things. I learned a lot from this film, but this film was really good for what it is supposed to be. But to be honest, I don't think that this film is really for everyone to see. To be honest, if you really want to see Dunkirk, I don't think that you will regret it, because it's really immersive and very entertaining to watch. And again, I'm totally speechless when I watch the film, and after I exit the cinema, I was still thinking about it, and this one easily enter my top 10 film of the year. Let me give you my final thoughts. This film is a very good historical film, and then this film also did very well in terms of perspective, because there are like few people and few soldiers, and then you understand their situation because of the surrounding, and then you give sympathy to this situation, so that's why you understand their perspective. At the same time, this film is really non-stop action, and then it has a very consistent climax. So this film was really brilliant in almost every way other than my nitpicking. So I am going to give Dunkirk a 9 out of 10. The reason that I'm still not giving the one more point because of my nitpicking, but still I will still watch this film again because of how good it is. And this is the first time I watched a film in IMAX without 3D, so that's why I feel immersed as well. So everything about this film was really good. If you really plan to watch Dunkirk, I really do recommend you guys go and watch Dunkirk, because even though let's say you don't really enjoy the story, but just watch it for the craft of the film, the video, the art style of the film, then you feel immersed if you don't really care for the story. So that is Dunkirk. So this is my review for Dunkirk, and I'll see you all next time.